We're going to continue with Sichos Haran. We're up to 29, Chuftes, yeah? So Rav Nachman continues. He says, Val limit poiskim, regarding limit poiskim. Poiskim is halacha. Halacha, you know? So, his ma'oid b'yoyser mikol ha-lamidim. He stressed, more than, we should be very, careful that we study, halacha, more than all other lamidim. Continuing, he explains, V'roi lilmod kol ha'arba shulchan aruch kilam, v'roishim ad soifim kaseder. He says that it's proper that we should study all four sections of shulchan aruch from the beginning until the end, kaseder. So basically, he says this is very important. He says, "Im yochel lilmod kol ha'arba shulchan aruch in kol ha'parishim hakadolim ma'atov." He says, and if someone was able to study all four sections of Shulchan Aruch, which is ARUCH, Chaim, Yeridea, Even Ezra, and Chodesh Mishpat, and he says with all the Parishim Hagdolim, it's the commentaries, but the big commentaries. Basically there are small commentaries on Shulchan Aruch, and there are big ones. Okay, so he says if someone was able to do all four with the big commentaries, Matov, continuing. Then law, he says if someone can't do it with all with the big commentaries, he says I'll call upon him. Then at least he should do Yilmat Kol HaRabah Shulchan Aruch Haktanim. Should learn all four sections of Shulchan Aruch with the small commentaries. Okay, we're gonna soon see this is not Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. That's not what we're talking about. Obviously, we'll discuss soon. That's very important to learn. But Kitzur Shulchan Aruch came at a later time. And it came after Rav Nachman. Rav Nachman referring to here is the Shulchan Aruch, which was written by Rabbi Yosef Karo. Right? So Arba Chelke Shulchan Aruch. Okay, continuing. He says that he tikkun godel ma'oi. This is a tremendous tikkun. It's a remedy, big remedy for us. He explains why. Continuing, he says because of we do chatam, we do an avera, right? Whatever it is, what happens is in this orev toiv v'ra, then good gets mixed up with bad, in us. He explains by that limit poisek, but when you learn poisek, which means you get the halacha, clear. Shemavora kosher v'apostle. So now you clarify what's kosher, apostle, v'amitzvah v'aser, hatorah v'atome. Yeah, you clarify everything because now you're learning the halachas, right? He says, then you get clarified. Now you basically separate the good from the bad. And he says, as I explained in one of the Kitam around Torah, the Torah is called Reisi Minarazov. Okay? He says, and he explained it in different places also. Mal is limina poiskim, the benefits of learning poiskim. Poiskim is again halacha. Yeah, continuing. And he says, Rachel says, Shekol ish Yisraeli mechiyav lilmud b'chol yom v'yom poiskim v'lo yavar. He says that every ish Yisraeli, every Jewish person, mechiyav, listen to this, lilmud, you have to learn every single day, poiskim v'lo yavar. Every day you have to learn Shulchan Aruch. You can't skip a day. Continuing. He says, and he honest, and if he's honest, and just mamash today you can't. He says the following. He says, Yilmad alkol ponim eza seif shulchan aruch be'eza makom shehi afilish loibim koimoi shehi oimet atu b'shulchan aruch. He says, so even if you're an honest, then open up shulchan aruch and just randomly wherever it is, learn one seif. Even if it's not where you're holding in shulchan aruch, because like we said earlier, he said everyone has to have a seder daily in Shulchan Aruch from the beginning and continue until the end and then start over. Continuing, he says Kitzarach Lumad Eza Dim Shulchan Aruch B'chol Yom V'Yom Kol Yimai Chayav. Listen to this. He says you have to learn Shulchan Aruch every day. Kol Yimai Chayav, your whole life. Okay. Continuing, he says Ich she'ena honest, and if a person is not an honest, Yilmad Keseder Kol Arbor Shulchan Aruch. They should learn every single day Keseder. All four parts of Shulchan Aruch, Mida Yom B'Yom, each day in its day, a little bit, and when you finish the Yisayim Shulchan Aruch. When you complete all four, listen to this. Yachzer v'yachel lamdam kaseh. They're starting again from the beginning. Okay, he's telling us this is basically something that now that we have this awareness, it's not just meant for the Rabbanim, Dayanim. He's saying every single issue Israeli, you have to know the halacha. Because, we're going to discuss in a minute in the summary, but he's saying, Pashut, we got to go through all four Shulchan Aruch. Continuing, and he says, and this is, this Reb Nosson was saying, this was his minhag, Reb Nachman, his minhag, his whole life. Yeah? Okay, that's the end of Chof Tes. Let's do a little summary on this, because this is a very tremendous CHIZZUK, this one, because basically, Nachman was talking to everyone, and he's giving us good answers. And he's telling us we have to learn Shulchan Aruch. Why? Because he says, look, you need to know halacha. This is not to be a dayan. This is not to be a rav. This is just to be a ish Yisraeli. You have to now. He's telling you the only way you're going to know it is if you're going to learn Shulchan Aruch. Because we really have to speak out a little bit. Shulchan Aruch. There's Rambam, which is before Shulchan Aruch, right? So I'll do a quick summary just to clarify it all. So we'll start from the beginning. Basically we have the Chumash, and in the Chumash we have the Taryag mitzvahs, right? The 613, it's in the Chumash. And then we have the whole Torah Shabbat Peh, which gives us halacha. When we recorded Torah Shabbat Peh, Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, he wrote down the Mishnayos, and the Mishnayos was the explanation of all the Taryag mitzvahs. The Mishnah at the time was the halacha sefer. In the Tanoim, they were teaching, the halacha Baal Peh. But we always learned halacha. It was always very clear. As the generations, went along, we wrote, different Rishonim wrote halachas for them because they learned the whole, Shas, Bavli, Yerushalmi, and they knew how to paskin, and they put it in Sfarim. So you have the main ones. You have the Rif, you have the Rosh, and then you have the Rambam. And these are the main ones. The Rambam covers all Taryag mitzvahs. Then you have the Tur. The Tur was from the Rishonim. He took the halacha and he divided it into four sections. It's called Arba Turim. This is actually what Shulchan Aruch is. Their framework is based on the Tur. So you have Rambam, which does all Taryag mitzvahs, and it's a halacha sefer. Then the Tur comes later, and he just subdivides it, but he only does the mitzvahs that we need right now. The mitzvahs that we do daily life, including Yom Tovim and everything. So that's the Tur, and then so he divided it into four sections. You have ARUCH Chaim, daily life. You have Yeridea, and then you have Even Ezer, and then you have Choshen Mishpat. So this is the Tur, and then obviously there were commentaries on the Rambam. There was commentaries on the Tur. Then you have Rabbi Yosef Karo. So he came along after writing extensive commentary on the Tur. He wrote another halacha sefer. He calls it Shulchan Aruch, which is mamash the same framework as the Tur. And however, he took all his commentaries from the Tur, and which is all built in the Rambam, and he made it a separate sefer, and that's Shulchan Aruch. Shulchan Aruch is the sefer that was accepted in all Klal Yisrael. And this is the final main halacha sefer, and that's why it's Shulchan Aruch, and that's why we all learn Shulchan Aruch. So just giving just a little summary, and then we have on the Shulchan Aruch itself, we have perushim, we have commentaries, in different sections. In Aruch Chaim, there's Magen Avraham, there's different ones. This is Shulchan Aruch. Later on comes different halacha svarim, which were geared to Balabatim. So you have Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, which it was written not to learn how to become like a dayan. You see, from Shulchan Aruch, you can learn how to become a dayan. I mean, you have to learn Shulchan Aruch, and then, you learn how to, learn how to, it's all connected. You have to learn everything, but Shulchan Aruch teaches you everything. Later on came, let's say, Reb Shlomo Ganzfried, right? So he wrote CHIZZUK and Lena. So he wrote Shulchan Aruch. It was, if you go through it, he took from all 4 sections of Shulchan Aruch and he made it into one sefer, and it's bekitzer, but it's meant for Bali Batim, to just be able to go through the whole thing. So you should know how to ask questions and know what to do, but you can't pass him from it, okay? And then you have also Chai Adam, another halacha sefer that's written to Bali Batim. Reb Nachman is before Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. Reb Nachman before Chai Adam. Reb Nachman is telling each Israeli that we have to know Shulchan Aruch, all 4 sections. And he's explaining that it's a major tikkun for a person. He explains why. He says because when we do chatom, which it's not possible not to if you don't know Shulchan Aruch, it's the after. If you don't know the Shulchan Aruch, you can't. Okay, so Rach was saying that when you go through it, you're actually you are. So when you do the Averas, because you didn't know, now the good and bad gets mixed up. When you go through the halacha, right? All of a sudden now you are separating, the good from the bad. And that's what happens. And then he explains that the way to do it is take Shulchan Aruch. They have menukot Shulchan Aruch. They have menukot. You can get just with Mechaber and the Rema. It's a set costs $50. You get Arbe Chelke Shulchan Aruch. I happen to have one right here. I'm going to show just so we see it. This is Yeridea, but this has Menukad, and this has like this. So it's just Mechaber and Rema. Mechaber Rema. And if somebody takes this, he can start from the beginning. And you go through Arbe Chelke Shulchan Aruch, it's unbelievable, because what's going to happen is you're going to finish it, and you start again, and we're slowly going to start knowing halacha. It's the only way. There's no other way to know halacha unless you take this eitzah and you go through Arbe Chelke Shulchan Aruch. My recommendation is, if someone not into learning, but just wants to get started, take Kitzur Shulchan Aruch and go through it. It's going to, show you how to start asking questions. But Reb Nachman was giving us tremendous chizik because he's saying you should know the Arbe Chelke Shulchan Aruch is not just for Rabbanim Dayanim, it's for every Ish Yisraeli. And what we find, we go through them, we go through Hilchas Talmud Torah, and it shows you how to, go through the whole Torah also, because it's in Hilchas Talmud Torah. How to enjoy Shabbos, because when you know halacha, you no longer, the things that are truly good are not, hard for us, because we know the ins and outs. Okay, we're gonna stop over here.